What's going on, Knicks Nation? Appreciate you guys hopping in for another Knicks Nation post game. Wow. What a thrilling victory that was for your New York Knickerbockers as they close it out after almost choking this game away in the fourth quarter. We'll talk about that. But Jalen Brunson, Mr. Captain Clutch, against Dyson Daniels, one of the league's best defenders, said, hold my beer, knocked down the two-pointer. That was all she wrote. Great lockdown defense from Mikal Bridges tonight on in that final possession on Trae Young, In that final possession on Trae Young. But yeah, Knicks got it done. Knicks 149-148. Karl Anthony Towns with 44 points, 10 rebounds. JB with 36 points, 8 assists. The New York Knicks are now 36-18 to close out pretty much the first half of the season, quote unquote. And yeah, boy, oh boy, we can breathe. We can breathe. We can finally breathe, ladies and gentlemen. That got dicey there at the end. It shouldn't have got to that point. The New York Knicks had a 6-point lead with 10 seconds to go in that fourth quarter. I'm ready to come on here, do the post game, ready to go. Then, obviously, situations transpired. Couldn't inbound the ball. Silly foul. But here we are, sitting at 36-18 on the season. It is the best record in over 28 years through the first half of the season. 36-18, your New York Knickerbockers are. Alan Hahn said it right after the game. So there is some stuff to work on after that you almost choked the game away in the fourth quarter. And that would have been terrible if you would have came out tonight with a loss. But look, you got it done. JB, man. JB was awesome in the first quarter, just cooking them in the first quarter. Then it was Karl Anthony Towns just pretty much cooking them. And then throughout the game, defensively, this Knicks team just was, letting the Hawks get to wherever they wanted. Trae Young was doing his thing. Obviously, he's leading the league in assists for a reason. And, it was just a back and forth affair. It felt like an all-star game, right? I mean, credit to the Hawks fighting back, battling back in that fourth quarter. But, you got it done, man. Appreciate every single one of you in here. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. A win is a win, ladies and gentlemen. A win is a win. Loud and Clear says, wow, I'm exhausted. This Rover, what's going on? He says we only won because Niang decided to brick his wide open three. Big Taz says, yo, what was that? Loud and Clear says, all I got to say is Mitch and OG. Andres says, Cardiac Knicks back at it. A lot of stuff to talk about tonight, man. First of all, shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. Back-to-back 40-point games from Karl Anthony Towns. That is his first time in his career that he has accomplished that. So, great game versus Indiana. And then he dropped 44 points and 10 rebounds tonight. He is the fifth Knick to do that. Who is on the list, you might say? Bernard King, Patrick Ewing, Carmelo Anthony, Jalen Brunson, and now Karl Anthony Towns joins the list of Knicks that have scored 40-plus points in back-to-back games. Karl Anthony Towns was awesome tonight, right? He was dominating. 7 to 10 from 3. You love that. Got to the free throw line early. 7 turnovers for Cat, but, he was awesome tonight. And that's kind of like the weird thing about this a game is because Cat was awesome. Brunson was awesome. Precious Achiuwa was awesome. He had a big rebound in that fourth quarter that I thought was, to seal the game. But Precious with a season high 26 points and 8 rebounds. Campaign was awesome for the Knicks off the bench, but defensively is where the Knicks struggled. They just struggled. The Hawks were getting to anywhere they wanted on the court. Karis LeVert was balling out for them. Niang was balling out for them. So, but I love to see that Karl Anthony Towns, the moon ball, is back. You love that because the thumb seems like it's getting better. I'm not sure if it's going to, become 100% from now until the end of the season, but you're seeing that Karl Anthony Towns is he's becoming more and more comfortable in terms of shooting the three, and you love to see that. I mean, look, guys, this was a back-to-back, right? It was a back-to-back. Hawks played on Monday. This was a back-to-back for the Knicks. Hawks won their last 3 on the road. And, I guess we could talk about the last sequence in the fourth quarter a little bit, but I didn't like that. But all in all, they got it done, guys. They got it done. They got it done. Castro, what's going on? Knicks win 149-148. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Tony, what's going on? Everyone, this is the Mecca. Everyone always wants to show out here. We won the big game, big win. Big win. Yeah, it's a good win, man. It's a win. You almost choked it, but it's a win. Ron B says, thank goodness we won. This would have been one of the worst choke jobs that I've witnessed. Come to think of it, the last choke job that the Knicks gave up was against the Dallas Mavericks, where Luka got his own rebound and Julius Randle and Quentin Grimes couldn't come together for a rebound, and Luka hits a game-tying shot. We go into overtime, and then we lose. It kind of reminded me of that, man. They had a 6-point lead with 10 seconds left. It's unheard of. It really is unheard of to just all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, it just goes away like that. It's honestly mind-boggling to think that happened. And I thought the Knicks to close the fourth quarter were kind of soft. I thought they were soft. It was a collapse. George Niang hits the 3. Towns makes a pass to Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges needs to be more assertive in going for that inbound pass. Was it kind of a soft pass? I guess you could say. But Mikal Bridges needs to be more assertive and go get the basketball, Mikal just seemed like he was like jogging tonight, just running on like 70%. I feel like something's bothering him. He hit a big shot and he hit a nice, he hit some timely shots tonight. I guess I can say that. But it just seemed like something was bothering him. I don't know if something's bothering him. He just seemed like he was running and like jogging out there and not giving it 100%. And, the pick and roll stuff with Trae Young was bad tonight. Although last possession in overtime, he did lock him up. So I just want to give Mikal Bridges a shout out for that. And then they get the ball. They're at their free throw line. They miss the free throw. And then Towns, doesn't box out. And they get the offensive rebound. And that's all she wrote. And then Trae Young gets the ball at top of the key. Josh Hart fouls Trae Young. And you're sitting there like, bro, like what just happened? This stuff doesn't even happen in the video game. But then your captain, number 11, JB, to close out the game. Hey, Dyson Daniels, man. JB seems like he can. JB seems like he got Dyson Daniels' number. And, there was a great one-on-one isolation shot. Everyone cleared out the court for Jalen Brunson at the end. And all of a sudden, boom, Mr. Captain. Captain Clutch. That's why we got him. Jalen Brunson. And he's been extremely clutch this year for the Knicks. He has. Just a sense of confidence that he portrays. And, he missed a game-winning 3 to close regulation. That was a pretty nice move. Similar move to when he hit that shot versus Brooklyn early on in the season. And then he hit a nice move. And then he just, he missed it. It was too long. And he got it back overtime. Got to his spot. Hit the shot. And that's all she wrote. And, when it mattered the most, Knicks got it done, man. Knicks got it done. Nostalgic, what's going on? Appreciate you in the chat. Let's get to some of these comments. Smash the comments. Appreciate every single one of you once again. Eddie says, please don't give Tom Thibodeau a pass. Poor coaching in this basketball game. Anytime a team loses a 6-point lead with 10 seconds remaining, yes. Obviously, some of that lies on the coach and some of that lies on the players, right? Some of that lies on the players. Yeah, we'll get to Dibs in his call. I'm just trying to get the win probability. This is up and down. So the Knicks in the fourth quarter, they had a 97% chance to win this game. 18 seconds left. You are up 6. And, obviously we won, but, that just can't happen. You got to clean that stuff up, Can't happen in these big games. And hopefully they'll learn from it and they'll clean it up. But, take a wider lens approach to 36-18 and 19-10. It was a back-to-back. These games are tough, man. These games are tough. It's tough to win in this league. This Rovers has a large lead, too. We did need Cat getting more rebounds, playing inside more. Yeah, look, the Knicks shot the ball extremely well, right? 42% from three, 57% from the field. But you're sitting there and you're like, why is this a close game? Well, I'll tell you why it was a close game. Atlanta was killing them on the glass. Killing them. Especially this number right here. 19 offensive rebounds for the Atlanta Hawks. 19 more opportunities for the Atlanta Hawks. And Knicks were not being assertive on the boards. They weren't boxing out. Cat wasn't boxing out. LeVert with 5 offensive rebounds. He's an Energizer Bunny for them. Okonkwo is one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. He's a great rebounder for his size. And he comes out and hits 2 clutch free throws, and you're sitting there like, bro, this guy's like a 60% free throw shooter, and he calmly hits 2. But they got killed on the glass tonight. And they got killed on the glass. The bench points outscored them. But that is why this game was as close as it was. And obviously the greatness of Trae Young, say what you want, 19 assists, 38 points, 19 assists for Trae Young. Obviously, he missed it when it mattered, 8 turnovers, and Mikal played great defense on Trae Young in the final possession in that overtime. And the ball got kicked out to Niang. He misses it, and you win. But, start this game, first quarter, JB was awesome. Then it was like he passed the baton to Karl-Anthony Towns. He was awesome. And you're sitting there like, yo, this is great. It's a back-to-back, and the dudes are playing like this. Precious was doing his thing. And you're sitting there like, oh, okay. And then, they gave it up. And ultimately, especially in that, it really started at the end of the first half, right? When the Knicks close out the second quarter terribly. Terribly. And then the Hawks dropped 41 points in the third. Like, defensively, there was non-existent, man. It was a back-to-back. Guys had dead legs. Like, nobody was playing defense tonight. On the Knicks side, nobody. Nobody, man. And if you were going to win this game, you had to outscore your opponent. Or you had to make boneheaded decisions like the Knicks made in the final 10 seconds of the fourth quarter regulation. So this Rover says Kel's ankle is probably swollen like a baseball right now from a few games back. I think Mikal's injured. I think he's dealing with something. Even his motions on the court, and I don't want to make excuses for him, but he just doesn't look right on the court. He's running in. I feel like he's giving it like 60%. Like he's not. I feel like something's bothering him. And look, what better time in the NBA season to get your body right than now? They don't play, I believe, until next Thursday, so they got some days off. And I think something's bothering him. I do. Brovadan, hope I'm pronouncing it right, says game ball goes to Precious. Precious had a big rebound, man. Big rebound. And 12 of 16, 3 offensive boards, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 26 points. Hawks had a game plan, leave Precious open around the key. And shout out to Precious, man. 12 of 16 from the field. That's awesome. That is awesome. Attempted a 3, but 12 of 16 from the field. And I thought tonight was one of Precious's best games, as a Knick, right? And he's had some good ones, but today he was awesome. He was awesome for the Knicks, especially later in the second half. He was good, and then obviously OT, but he was awesome tonight. He was awesome. Guys were awesome. Like Cat was awesome. Brunson was awesome. Hart did his thing. Payne came in and gave the Knicks energy, like Loud and Clear said in the chat. And McBride got ruled out. I think he was dealing with a rib injury. Shamet hit 2 shots tonight. So you got killed on the glass. You got killed on the glass. Robert said you got killed on the boards. Tony says second chance points. Yeah, man. Second chance points. You got killed. Killed. And look, you can kind of like chalk that up to being a back-to-back, right? And I'm not the one to make excuses. I'm not. But got killed on the boards. You got 78 points in the paint for the Hawks. 36% from three. 19 offensive rebounds, man. 43 assists for the Atlanta Hawks. 12 steals. 9 blocks. 14 turnovers. Right? So 24 fast break points. And the Knicks pulled out, man. They pulled this one out. It got dicey there, man. It really did. But look, 36-18. I said it earlier. Best record in the first half of the season in over 20 years. And now you hit the All-Star break. You're getting reinforcements back. Tonight was one of those wins where you had to really show your willpower. You had to really show, that Knicks could have easily checked out in overtime. And it just could have been a disaster. Hawks went up 5 quickly in overtime. And you're sitting there like, oh, we lost. But guys persevered, man. They shout out to the guys. They played like 40-plus minutes, and it was a back-to-back. And, willpower, mental toughness, right? A win is a win. There's things to improve on. Defense was non-existent tonight at all. At all. Right? Both teams. But your star players, JB when it mattered, Mr. Clutch, Captain Clutch, who's been awesome for this Knicks team all year long, said night-night to the Atlanta Hawks. Good night. Tony says bench again, 14 total points. Yeah, the bench is going to be we know about the bench, man. Robert says they have a deep bench. They lose nothing when they substitute. Robert, they traded what's his name? His name is escaping me, but they got Karis LeVert, they got George Niang, and their bench is good. Hawks are good. Obviously, when Jalen Johnson comes back, I think the Hawks are going to be a good team, but that's not until next year. But their bench is good, man. Karis LeVert has been having a good season. He was having a good season in Cleveland before he got traded. Niang was also having a good, okay season in Cleveland. DeAndre Hunter is the name that, they acquired. Obviously, the Cleveland Cavaliers won on our side, but yeah, they have a good bench. What's going on? Steve says Game didn't need to get that cardiac. We almost had that cardiac, man. Cardiac Knicks, man. Says this All-Star break comes just in time. Lots of mistakes, but I will take the win. We have to get better. Too many mistakes. Jay, what's going on? Jay, ugly win, but a W is a W. Nick Yak, hopefully fans realize we need Mitch, the ones that wanted to trade him. The one that wanted to trade him. Trying to catch up on all your comments, man. Knicks win 149-148. Almost choked it away in the fourth quarter. Just a bunch of just boneheaded plays. Like, honestly. Like, boneheaded. I tweeted on the X account. I could not believe what I was watching. Boneheaded play after boneheaded play after boneheaded play. You can blame Cat. You can blame Mikal for not getting the ball in time, but thank God for JB, man. Thank God for JB and his overtime heroics, honestly. El Figgy, what's going on, El Figgy? Let's enjoy the fact that the Knicks have the best record going into the All-Star break they've had in 20 years. We complain when we're trash. We complain when they're fighting. Gratitude, please. Love that from El Figgy, man. Love that. Knicks have the best record going into the All-Star break in 20 years. They're without OG Anunoby currently, and Mitchell Robinson is on the horizon. JB is having a career season. Karl Anthony Towns has dropped 40-plus points in back-to-back games. First time in his career, he joins the list of Jalen Brunson, Carmelo Anthony, Bernard King, and Patrick Ewing. So 2 of those players on that list is currently on the New York Knicks playing. First half of the season, like I said, you take the broader approach, has been awesome for the Knicks. They've been stuck in the 3rd seed for, it seems like, the entire season. They have supplanted themselves in a good spot in the Eastern Conference. You got Mitch coming back. You got OG coming back. OG has been a game-time decision these last 2 games, so that tells you that he's close. And we just go from there. You got tough games against Boston. You got a tough game against Cleveland coming up. But all in all, if you were to give this Knicks team a grade first half of the season heading into the All-Star break, guys, I would honestly B+, A-. It's been good. Now, are there some things to work on? Of course. Of course there is. But all in all, where this Knicks team is at right now, considering the injuries that they're dealing with right now, considering the All-Stars that they've, JB All-Star, Cat All-Star, they've been solid. They've been solid, man. David says to all the Cat haters and doubters, back-to-back 40-plus performances. Yes, hope what's going on? Hopefully, McBride is back soon. Hopefully, I think he was out with a rib injury, but yeah. Oh man, yes. Somebody was killing Mikal versus the Indiana Pacers. Jaboni says B+. Jaboni, yeah, I would give it B+, A-. Honestly, man. Honestly, best record heading into the All-Star break in over 20 years. You know? And to think about what has happened in the first half of the season. Cat breaking records, JB breaking records, and an Obi breaking records. The Knicks starting 5 breaking records. You know, to think they really don't have a bench. The inconsistency of Deuce McBride, the Mitchell Robinson just being unavailable. To think that, you know, the Knicks are in the spot right now in the East where they're pretty much stuck in the 3rd spot currently. It's been a good first half of the season. I'll take that any day, man. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Just trying to go through my notes. So, Cat, the Moonball is back for Carlton Towns. 7 to 10. How many threes did Cat have tonight? He was awesome, man. 7 to 10 from 3, man. 7 to 10. JB passed the baton to him in the second quarter, excuse me. But I thought the downfall came, bad closeout to the second quarter, and then from that point, it seemed like the Knicks just couldn't really get a rhythm, a grip in this game. Mikal really wasn't involved. 8 field goal attempts. You know, Cat kind of got iced out there. You know, just the flow of this, especially in that 4th, late in the 3rd, just really wasn't where I wanted it to be. But, you know, shout out to Campaign, man. I really thought Campaign provided a tremendous spark for this basketball team today. I do. 10 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. If he's going to give you that off the bench in 15 minutes, that's sign me up for that, honestly. Sign me up for that, those positive stat lines. Right? Sign me up for that. Hawks killed them on the boards, but Knicks persevered, got it done. How about Cat finally getting the superstar whistle that we've been wanting? 9 of 11 from the free throw line from Karl-Anthony Towns. Finally getting that superstar whistle. Finally getting that. Ba-ba-ba. What's going on, Knicks 100 GM? See you in here. See you in here. Joel says, did you see what Brunson's done on the Knicks in his career? Yeah, I mean, the list that Jalen Brunson is on, and he's only been a Knick for a short amount of time, is just remarkable. Like, honestly, like, he's just been incredible. Blown my expectations out the window, and he just keeps on getting better and better and better. Jalen Brunson is freaking incredible. Like, he is a stud. And Dyson Daniels had the matchup with JB tonight. Again, he picked up 5 fouls. Could have got fouled out. That would have been back-to-back games with Dyson Daniels getting fouled out. And Brunson just takes these matchups kind of personally. And especially in that first quarter where he got matched up with George Niang and he was just cooking him. It's just poetry in motion. Like, it's beautiful basketball. Like, it's literally beautiful basketball. Some moves tonight, step backs, like, he has so much in his arsenal. And obviously he topped it off by the game-winning shot in overtime, but he's our captain for a reason. 36-8, efficient night, 3 of 7 from 3. Love that, man. Wild Boy Trey, what's going on, Wild Boy Trey? And don't forget, we still getting Mitch back. Yes, we're still getting Mitchell Robinson back. Jabroni says B+, given the Knicks. Isaiah says, got to be honest, and if Cat doesn't improve his pick-and-roll defense, it'll be a huge problem in the playoffs. Also, if he doesn't start to box out when we need it, that would also cause our downfall. That is the reason why I would like Mitchell Robinson to start alongside Karl-Anthony Towns. That reason right there. He is what he is, guys. You know, he's at this point in his career, he isn't that good of a defender. Like, he has his moments. He does. And I just really want to see at this moment how it looks like with Mitch. Does it improve? Does it get better? That's what I'm really interested to see. And I think it can. I think it will. But, yes, it is. The pick and roll stuff, it is a issue. But hopefully coming out of the All-Star break, he was even seeming like he was dealing with stuff, wincing. And guys are banged up, man. Guys are banged up. So it is an issue. But I really want to see it with Mitch. Because, look, Cat, we know him to be a great offensive player. He is the best big man shooting big in the NBA. He is. And for a while, we thought that the 3-ball was gone. Gone. Right? And now it's back. Back-to-back 40-plus point games. First time in his career. Tonight, he was awesome. Offensively, he was awesome. But I thought as the game progressed, look, he played 47 minutes too, right? 47 minutes on a back-to-back, man. That's tough, man. That's pretty much a full game. 47 minutes on a back-to-back. And yes, Hawks found something in the second half because they were just attacking. Double picks for Trae Young, getting to anywhere he wanted on the court. Slipping the passes, Hawks were just killing the Knicks, pick and roll stuff. And I'm interested to see what it looks like with Mitchell Robinson. And, of course, we're missing OG Anunoby, so that's a big thorn in our defense right now. Nick Yak says, no way the Cavs dropped. There's only 30 games left. Joel says Brunson owns Trae Young. Tony says Jalen Brunson will go down as the best Knick ever. Ooh, Jalen Brunson will go down as the best Knick ever. If Jalen Brunson brings a championship to NYC, they will build a statue for him on every single corner of New York City. Every corner, you will see a Jalen Brunson statue. If he brings a championship to this city, he will go down as the best Knick ever. That's a bold statement. I know we have some greats, but he just needs to bring a championship. He just needs a ring. Bring a ring to the city. You will never have to pay for another meal in your life. You will be the king of New York. And boy, oh boy, he's already the captain. He's already beloved. He damn near took less money so this Knicks team can improve. When you factor in everything, and if he brings a championship to the city, if he brings a ring, if if he brings a trophy to Madison Square Garden, he will be in the rafters, and he will be considered one of the Knicks' all-time greats. He will be. Unc Dre says, I'm loving this team. It's our first year together with this team. We're going to be scary. Yeah, look. First time. Nick Yak says Clyde, Willis, Ewing, Bernard, all better. Look, if JB needs to bring a chance, if JB continues this pace, Nick Yak, for, let's say he ends his career as a New York Knick. So you give him, 10 more years? And he's an all-star in, 7 of those 10 years? And in those 10 years, he wins 1 chip, and we just are a constant contending, team. We make it to the Eastern Conference Finals multiple times. He why not? Like, he is going to be considered one of the Knicks' all-time greats if he does that. Right? Don't really want to get premature here, but what we've seen in these last couple of years is that he's built for it. Some guys can't handle it. He can handle it. JB can handle it. David says Cat is the true MVP of the Knicks and their best player. David, it's honestly, I don't like JB, Cat. It's just great to have these guys on their team. Like, we've come a long way. We got Cat, we got JB. I mean, they're 2 superstars, and you have them on your team, and they seem like they feed well off one another. And what we thought we were going to see in the preseason, it's come to fruition now. They've just been, awesome as a duo. Awesome. AJ Live is in the chat. She gonna come for Mikal. This Rover says JB is already goated in New York right now. If he brings a chip, he'll become legendary. Yeah, he will. El Figgy says, looking forward to watching our 2 All-Stars represent the Knicks well in the All-Star game. Most of the league wishes they were playing as well as we are right now. Look, exactly, right? And that's we're Knicks fans, right? We're going to pick at everything. It's funny how, we sucked before, and now we're actually like really damn good, and we want to be great. So now we've kind of shifted our mindset, like, yeah, back-to-back second round appearances, but now we want more. And now we're kind of shifting our mindset to, all right, how can we get to that next level? But in the midst of all things, you got to enjoy the season, right? You do. And beginning half of the season, best record that the New York Knicks have had in over 20 years prior to the All-Star break. They're 36-18, and they are simply playing great basketball, right? And it could be even better with reinforcements on the way. And look, I've been saying that for weeks. I've been saying that for months. The return of Mitchell Robinson, like, I don't know. Like, I just need to see him on the court, but that can only improve and help out Karl-Anthony Towns' defense. Knicks, 3rd in the East, they're 36-18. Look, they've kind of entranced themselves for that in the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, right? 8-2 in their last 10. It's funny how the top 3 seeds in the Eastern Conference are all 8-2 in their last 10 games. Knicks, Boston, Cleveland. I think that's it. I think how the standings are right now, I think that's how it's going to stay. Like I said last night, I think the Knicks have a chance to leapfrog Boston. But if you were a betting man, you would say that the Knicks finish number 3. And it depends on who finishes number 6. And we just go from there. But all in all, this Knicks team is just, playing as a unit, playing well, sharing the basketball, breaking records. Just best starting 5 that we've seen in like forever. Like, it's just been an awesome watch to watch these guys gel together, learn together, go through adversity together. And we knew it was coming, right? We knew it was going to come. You are now 18 games over 500, and you have a chance to redeem yourself at the end of this month. You got Boston, you got Cleveland. So What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Nick Yak says, I agree. He's the best player since Ewan, but Clyde is the best point guard. Yes. Clyde got a ring. Brunson needs that ring. Brunson needs that ring. Stanley says, I lost all my hair and my eyebrows turned gray after this cardiac Knicks game. AJ says, Mikal isn't our guy, bro. Let's just move on from him. AJ says, Mikal 3 games in a row is trash. Tonight was confusing because Mikal Bridges locked down Trae Young in the final possession in overtime, right? Great defensive possession. Then in the last 10 seconds of the game, I thought he could have went to the ball with more aggressiveness. Could have been a better pass, but I thought Mikal could have went to the ball with more aggressiveness. Just tonight, he just wasn't aggressive, and he kind of has gotten iced out in the offense, kind of. But I think there is an underlying thing going on with Mikal. I do think that he turned his ankle. Guys, don't forget that. He turned his ankle last week, a couple of weeks ago, and it didn't look good. But Mikal's Iron Man, right? He's going to play every game. He's available for every single game. I thought tonight he was running, 60, 70%, 80%. Obviously, he had the Trae Young assignment. But I want to see how, he takes this time off, rest up, because, again, Mikal has been leading the league in minutes. They've scaled it back recently, but now he's got a week off to kind of reset, kind of relax. But yes, at times I do think the Knicks need to get him more involved offensively because he is an awesome scorer. Like, he just is. And at times I think he gets iced out a lot offensively. So Just Lettuce says when Mitch gets back, he should start at the 5, Cat at the 4, move OG to small forward, Bridges at the 2. Yeah. I'm all for that, man. I am. I don't think that's going to happen right away, but I think you just got to do it because it puts Josh Hart at the bench. You're bigger. You have 2 7-footers. And, Mitch will give you extra possessions with the offensive rebound. He'll help with that. He'll help with the defensive breakdowns. He'll help Cat. I mean, I just think it's a no-brainer putting Hart at the bench. You strengthen your bench by putting Hart on the bench again where he shines. Like, we traded Hart to be that 6th man off the bench. And I just think it just makes all the sense in the world. But right now, it's just you just have to hope that he's healthy enough to do it. Shout out to Q Dot. 30 points for Q Dot. David says, why must fans crap on players? Be happy we won. Yeah, David, it's a cold world out there. Look, Knicks, if they would have lost this game in regulation, best believe we would have been ripping them. Would have probably been one of the worst losses that we've seen. Like I said, Dallas loss comes to mind in Dallas where they collapsed. They just lost focus in that fourth quarter. And I just felt like they took a look at the All-Star break and they were like, look, we're up 6, 10 seconds left. We won. We got it. We got it in the bag. But it's the NBA. You can't do that, man. You can't lose focus like that. And we've already seen in the playoffs. Look, we were on the winning side of that stuff, right? Dante DiVincenzo shot versus Philadelphia. Yeah. Until that final buzzer is 0, the game is not over. So that fourth quarter, the last 10 seconds, I'm sure will be reviewed in film room. But back to back to back, just terrible, unfocused plays from the Knicks. And it's kind of uncanny because they're so smart. The basketball IQ is off the charts in the starting 5, and that's what makes them so good. Brunson, Cat, Mikal, Hart, the basketball, all of their basketball IQ extremely high. And I just thought they lost focus in that fourth. But that can't happen. That can't happen. Yo, Alpha, what's going on? Appreciate you in here. Charles says Bridges has been disappointed. We had a lot of days off last couple of weeks. No excuses. Yeah, look, I get it. I truly do. He's been iced out a little bit in the offense. And something the Knicks got to work on. Something the Knicks got to work through. But it's kind of just, the thing about Mikal is like, sometimes you would like him to score a lot, but sometimes you don't need him to score a lot, right? Defensively, he needs to be better these last couple of games, these last few games. Indiana, he wasn't so good defensively. Tonight, he wasn't good defensively besides the last possession in the overtime, right? 7 field goal attempts, 8 field goal attempts. Prior to that, he was 11 points Boston, 6 points Indiana, 11 points versus Atlanta. You know, had a good game versus Houston, good game in Orlando, in Toronto. Lakers, you know, that was a stinker with everybody. But I think Mikal is the punching bag. I do, of everyone. And because, you know, we traded so much for him. So every time he puts together like a few games where he's just not playing well, people magnify it. But I really do think, when did he twist his ankle? Was it at the Toronto game or the Boston game? I think it was the Boston game. But I just think it's a process with Mikal. It's a process. He's had great games this season, but defensively, you want to see him be more assertive, especially these last couple of games, and it just wasn't there. But we've seen him this season have great defensive performances. So it's kind of been like a roller coaster season with more, I would say, more good than bad from Mikal. And he's Iron Man. Like I want to focus on that. He plays every game. Like he's available every single game. Dude hasn't missed a game in his entire career. Like he's so talented that when he has bad games like he did tonight and versus Indiana, I know they're magnified. But the thing I've noticed about Mikal is they're using him a lot around the paint, and he's, in terms of making double passes, and he's making the second or third read quick. He's passing the ball well. A couple of times tonight he got it to Precious. So the assists have been up, 5 assists, 4 assists. So it's a process with Mikal. They're using him in different ways, but maybe that's just how they want to use him offensively. But it's a process. But I do get the frustration with you guys. I do. AJ Live says Mikal's not a championship player. Knicks need to do better. Look, Mikal was playing well with the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals, right? Let's not forget that. Versus the Milwaukee Bucks, Mikal Bridges had good games, and he was playing well. So let's not forget that. It's a process. I'm not going to call Mikal not a championship player because that's totally unfair. But, yeah. Ken E says both OG and Mikal need to have a defensive anchor to really see them shine. The Knicks defensive triangle of OG, Kel, and Mitch will give teams problems. Yeah, and that is exactly why I would like to see the lineups of Mitchell Robinson and Cat mix in with OG and Mikal. I just think it's just going to make their defense, I believe, I'm not going to say elite, but I would say really good. Because you got help around the rim. You know, Mitch is a rim protector. Guys, try it, but you know what he can do around the rim. Earl says, why is it as soon as the Knicks lose a game or struggle to win one, everybody's ready to give up on them? Earl. Yeah, what's going on, Earl? Appreciate you in here. Yeah, look, I get it. Mikal has kind of become the punching bag of the fan base, and I get it to an extent, but at the same time, yeah, you got to look at the full picture, guys. You got to look at their record. You got to look at Jalen Brunson having a career season. Cat is having a career season, and Mikal. I know it sometimes doesn't show up in the box score, but he's a big part of what we do. Like his mid-range stuff, he had a big timely shot tonight. I thought he only attempted 8 field goal attempts tonight, guys. And he was 1 of 2 from 3. With 4 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Right? So, yeah. Yeah. David says, don't want to see Boston in the second round. Andres says, Mikal needs to ditch Chipotle and start cooking real Whole Foods. That's not fair to Mikal. Look, Mikal's in great shape. Obviously, he's doing something right. He's an Iron Man for a reason. Hasn't missed a game in his career, right? The stocks, man. 4 stocks tonight from Mikal. 2 steals, 2 blocks. Just doing other things that, impact the game. Defensively, I know. Look, Trae Young is tough, right? But we've seen him lock up Trae Young before, and he's shown it in the last possession in overtime. He had a great defensive possession that led to a bad Trae Young shot, and unfortunately, Niang was open. If he hits that 3, we're singing a different tune, but he missed, right? And the Knicks won. So, just prior to these last 3 games, Mikal has been solid, man. I mean, Memphis, he was great. Sacramento, he was great. A couple of weeks ago versus Atlanta again, he was great. He's going to, when you have Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson like pretty much 1A and 1B and just taking over the Broadway show. When you have them shining like that, you want to give them the ball as much as possible, right? So Mikal, only 8 field goal attempts, but I think what people want to see is that lockdown defense from Mikal, and I give you that. For a majority part of the season, it really hasn't been there from him. But, we just have to hope that it can improve. Especially when OG comes back, especially when Mitch comes back, I think everything will improve. But he's had his moments this year where he's had some great defensive possessions. So, Charles says, I'm definitely not giving up on him, but I just expect him more. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair from Mikal. That's totally fair. But, I spoke to a couple of Nets fans, and they said that his defense was kind of overrated last season, and it was a bad season for the Nets. So, and his all defensive seasons, you really haven't seen it since the Phoenix days, but you've seen it in glimpses this season. He had a stretch where he was really good defensively. And I just think it's the NBA, guys. It's a combination of things, man. It's leading the league in minutes. It's just a combination of that. I know I sound like I'm making excuses, but it's just the reality of the situation. And he could just be exhausted, right? He could just be that. He leads the NBA in minutes per game, right? He had a tough assignment tonight, but he's doing other things to impact the game, right? So, but yeah, I expected more too. But I think if I was to grade Mikal, B-. If I was to give Mikal Bridges a grade, is that fair? For what you expected from him, B-. He's had great games this year, guys. He has. Andres says if the Knicks lose in the second round, Mikal will be the scapegoat and be traded in the offseason. Ooh, you guys already fast forwarding to that. Let's get there first. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see how we play in the playoffs. Let's see how it plays out. Mikal can hit a game winner and carry us to the Eastern Conference Finals for all we know. Let's see how things play out. Mikal Bridges, has playoff experience. He's been to a finals. He's an awesome mid-range shooter. He's an awesome corner three-point shooter. There's some regression hitting, but Mikal's been there, done that. So let's get there first. But guys, I mean, look at our record, guys. I know we want to like pick at certain things, and I get it, and we'll probably do it in the podcast, but when you kind of take the wider lens approach, and I know a lot of people don't like taking the wider lens approach, 36-18, man. If you were to tell me the New York Knicks were 36-18, third in the Eastern Conference, Cat's an all-star, JB's an all-star, both of them are having career seasons, Josh Hart's having a career season, Mikal Bridges has been solid. I just think the picks go along with Mikal, man. From the moment we acquired him, people see the first round picks and they want superstar player. If you trade 5 firsts for Mikal, he needs to be a superstar. He needs to be a stud. Like, I don't want to see these bad games. I don't. I think that's what people are saying. Because I think that picks are, you're attaching the picks to the play of Mikal, and at times it doesn't correlate. You overpaid. You did. We did. We overpaid for Mikal. We did. But that's the price of doing business for Brooklyn. We did overpay for Mikal. But that doesn't mean that he's invaluable. David says Tibbs has a losing career playoff record, and he has been fired twice for playoff underperformance in 16 years as a head coach. David, let's get there. Let's get there, and then we'll talk about that, man. El Figgy says, sucks. Deuce is down again. He was just getting hot again. Yeah, Deuce, what they call it, a rib situation. Let me try to get an update on Deuce McBride, but yeah, he had a great game versus Indiana, and I really wanted to see him build off of that, but hopefully he can take the time off at the All-Star break and get healthy, right? So hopefully Deuce can get healthy soon. And that's kind of been the season of Deuce, man. It's kind of been the frustrating thing. Great game versus Indiana. Then tonight he gets hurt. And it's kind of been like that. And that's the frustrating, that's where the frustration lies in myself with the whole Deuce McBride situation. But yeah, hopefully he's back soon. Nick Yak says Mitch will help the defense look better as a help defender, and we won't see 4 offensive rebounds against us in one play. It was terrible tonight. The offensive rebounding, man, did they get killed on the glass. Man. Robert says he is a primary defender guarding opponent's best player, perimeter player, running around screens all game. He has a thankless job on this team. Yeah, man. OG went down, puts more pressure on Mikal to defend, and he can't be the only one out there playing defense that can lead to frustration. And yeah, look, it can, right? It can. Like Mikal's on an island, you get him in a pick and roll situation, you put him in a pick and roll situation with Karl Anthony Towns, it's not going to look good. It's not, and it hasn't, right? And teams have been attacking that, but, he's been on an island. Tori, what's going on? Agreed. Mikal isn't being utilized properly, though. That I agree with. I've said it multiple times. I don't think Mikal Bridges is being utilized properly in this offense. And I think it'll come with time. When you got 2 guys, 2 superstars on your team, JB and Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, the starting 5 is great. It's elite. And it's hard with one basketball. It's hard. But what we've seen in the beginning part of this first half of the All-Star break is, guys are adjusting. Guys are adjusting. Unc says, look at where we are compared to 4 years ago. Let's just enjoy having a great team. 4 years ago, I would be sleeping. Now we speaking. Great win tonight. Yeah, 4 years ago we would have turned the game off, and you know it would have been night, man. It would have been night. But look at where we are, guys. We're in a great spot. Tori says he had a big spot at the end of the game. Mikal's getting heat that he don't deserve. Big stop. Big stop. Big stop at the end of the game. All right, guys. Discord in the chat. Let's get to Yuri. Yuri, please make your point. Then I'll respond to it. Don't come after no one in the chat. I've spoken to you in the Discord. Let's go. Let's get to Yuri in the Discord. Yuri, what you got tonight?
My point in this game is I think I've aged about 50 years. 50 years. That's all I'm going to say. I've aged 50 years, and I'm actually really mad at Cat. Cat actually almost cost us the game.
You're talking about the inbounding of the basketball?
Yeah. Yeah, and I can tell Cat was tired.
Yeah, he was exhausted.
I'm putting that on Tibbs. You shouldn't have Cat out that much time. You shouldn't. Why? He was dripping wet. And he was dripping wet. Yeah. He was exhausted.
Yeah, Cat.
The guy, he usually gets those rebounds. For those that called him soft, I don't want to hear that. That's Tibbs' fault. We should have had Ariel Hokaporti out there.
Hey, that's a good point. Hokaporti got 3 minutes tonight, but, he didn't play in the second half. And you know how Tibbs is. He gets kind of antsy with rotations. So
I know.
Yeah.
No, Tony, that's not what I'm. Tori, that's not what I'm on. It's not about the pass. Cat was out there for a good majority of the first half. He didn't sit.
Yeah.
I can be out about the passing all day long. But what annoyed me is why? And I mean, why is Jalen Brunson isoing Dyson Daniels all by himself? No hate towards Jalen Brunson. He got the bucket. Why is nobody setting a screen for him? You got an elite defender on him.
Yuri, are you serious right now, Yuri?
Yes.
JB cooked this man. They put JB on an island.
Come on. You know what I mean.
Okay, Yuri.
Come on.
They put JB on the island. Everyone cleared out. Jalen Brunson was not missing that shot. He has played well against Dyson Daniels, and he knows his tendencies. Yes, Daniels has caught him a couple times this game, especially with steals and everything. But the ball was going to Jalen Brunson. He wanted the final shot, and he got it. He made it.
Fair enough. I'll agree with you. I'm not biatching about that. I'm not biatching about that. It's just this team. I love this team. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think Mikal is the punching bag of the punching bags.
Yeah.
I didn't think Mikal didn't do that bad of a job today. He did his best, and if I'm Mikal, I'm gonna be honest. I'm pissed off at my teammates. No one's helping Mikal. Oh, I'm on an island here. Can I use some help? Can somebody help me out?
Yeah. No, I get it. Yuri, appreciate the phone call again.
That's all I want to say. Also, to your point about the grade, right, before I go.
Yeah.
I'm giving this team a B. That's me being nice.
Yeah.
If I wanted to say, I could give them a B+, but B because you took time gelling in the first half of the season. You played great defense over time. You had blowout losses. But at the same time, when it counts, after the bad loss, you bounce back. And you got to remember, the only losing streak that this team had, you were only on a 3-game skid. I don't think anybody notices that. We were only on a 3-game losing streak. Have we ever been on a 3-game losing streak since then?
No.
Every time we lost, we bounced back. Every time we lost, we bounced back. Listen, I'll figure that wasn't a defensive game. That was just pure offense. And we haven't seen his team healthy yet. Anyway, Knicks Nation, Squizzy's talking about the VC. I think you want to join as well.
All right. Appreciate you, Yuri. Shout out to Yuri in the chat. Those of you in the VC, Sequeezy is in the VC as well. Sequeezy, what's going on, Sequeezy?
What's up, man? This was a stressful game. I don't even know where to start. It felt like both teams had their game mode on easy mode because it was no defense. It was all-star scoring numbers out there. Thank God we won. Brunson hit the shot because if I seen Trae Young rolling dice, knowing we have a week off, I would have been heated because that's what I would have been thinking about until we come back from all-star break. But we got the win, and this is what I need to see from Cat. Like the 40 points, I ain't asking for that all the time, but when we play Boston, the Cavs, because that's who we play coming back, I need to see Cat in Cat form. I don't need to see no 9, 11 points. I need to see him in the 20s, like be aggressive. And that 3 in the corner. Oh, my heart dropped. I felt like I had powers for that moment. I felt like time stopped. And I just had flashbacks of like Devin Booker, the Nembhard 3 from the playoffs, the Maxey 3.
Oof.
I'm
not gonna lie, I thought that 3 was going in.
We could just go on all-star break and just watch Brunson and Cat do their thing.
I thought that 3 was going in from the Yang.
I thought it was going in too.
I really did. But yeah, Cat, look, Cat,
we always have somebody making a shot the last second.
We do. And look, Cat was awesome tonight. JB was awesome. You got it done. Last 10 seconds was in the regulation was terrible, but they got it done, man. And you know, just exactly. This is who you want Cat to be, right? You want him to be dominant. Obviously, you want to see him do this against Boston, Cleveland. And look, in 2 weeks, guess who we got? Boston and Cleveland.
Yeah, we got them back-to-back. So it should be no reason he should have both games be bad. Because usually when he has one bad game, he'll step up the next game. So he better have good games in one of those if he do have bad games. Hope not.
Yeah, hopefully not too. Appreciate you with the call.
No problem.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys in the Discord for calling in. Link is in the description. Link is also pinned up to the comments. Yuri said that, going back to Yuri's point, he said that he didn't understand why JB got the isolation with Dyson Daniels. And somebody in the chat brought up a good point. Dyson Daniels is he's better at screen navigation. So JB got the isolation he wanted, and he was awesome all game. And yes, Dyson Daniels is a good defender. He leads the league in steals, and he caught JB a couple of times. But in that situation, you clear out for your superstar point guard and Jay Brunson to let him go to work. Because even the shot at the end of the fourth quarter, guys, that move that he put on, that little turnaround step back, that was sick. And I thought that was going in. Unfortunately, it didn't, but he's awesome. You put the ball in that man's hands. You put the ball in that man's hands. Right? So, appreciate Yuri and Sequeezy calling in the Discord. Here's your comments before you head up out of here once again. Nicky Ack says these turnovers were horrible, but mostly from Cat. Yeah, Cat with 7 turnovers tonight, but he was, he had like dead leg. He was tired, man. He was done. He was done. AJ says Mikal Bridges show up against the Cavs. Tony says, I'm sorry, I'm going to give this team an A considering the injuries, the lack of the bench, and the fact that we have 2 new starters on this team. To think that we have the 3rd best record in the East, A, easily. I'm not going to argue with you, Tony. I'm not. I would give them an A too. I would. But the reality is we really don't have a bench. So, you're relying heavily on Campaign and Deuce McBride to do their thing, and Precious has had a great game tonight. But I think things will be different when Mitch comes back. I really do, especially if you start him. But I would give this Knicks team, like I said, B plus. They've been awesome. Have they had some stinkers? Yes. But it's the NBA. You can't win them all, right? But when you take a look at the bigger picture, tough matchups coming up in 2 weeks. Show us what you got. You can't get smacked again by Boston. You can't. Because then you think Knicks fans don't really have confidence now that you can't beat them in a playoff series. I mean, if that happens again, I mean, it's night-night. It's like, all right, what are we doing here? You got to show some fight. You got to show us that, all right, we can beat this team. What's going on, ML? All right, guys, appreciate you in the chat. Look out for some videos coming up. All-Star break is coming up. Knicks get a victory. Big win. Knicks 149-148. Everyone have a great night. I'm Anthony. Subscribe. All that good stuff. Look out for some updates. Hit the notification bell as well. At Knicks Station on Instagram. At Knicks Station on X. All-Star break is here. Podcast is coming up this weekend. Look for the updates. As always, I'm Anthony. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.